Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sammy from Integrity Auto Repair Center in Baltimore City, 2600 Gwynns Falls Parkway. Here's another video about the 2005 Ford Expedition. This is the vehicle here. We're doing a tune-up on it, and these spark plugs, of course, are notorious of breaking inside the engine. You see I got them all 8 here. What happens is a lot of soot develops in the spark plug here at the tip of it, and once you start turning it to take it out, it breaks. And you're gonna need the specialized tools to get it out. But the trick to get all 8 of them out the same way I've done here, you have to, number one, of course, you have to run the car until the car is really hot. The temperature gauge should reach the middle and stay in the middle for some time. Excuse me. That's the key to it, because the carbon deposits on the bottom here, they will loosen with the heat of the engine a little bit. So the first step is the engine gotta be very hot, because like we don't usually do tune-ups in cars when the car is hot, because you might strip the aluminum head. But in this case, in these 2005 and 6, I believe, or 4, they got the 5.4 with these spark plugs with the defect in manufacturing from Ford. Ford, like when you spin them, they're gonna break. If you try to take the spark plug out and spin it, it will break here, and you're gonna need a specialized tool to get this stuff out. But the key, as I said, you warm the engine up, number one, make it very hot. It has to be in the middle. The temperature gauge got to be in the middle, number one. Number two, you come right away. You have to disconnect the battery. But disconnect the negative, of course, you're not going to touch the positive. You don't need to. And then you have to remove the computer. The computer is right there, the PCM. You remove the PCM out so it can give you room to work on the bottom inside for the back one here. The one that's in the back is very tough to get to. You get him out first. You take the computer out. They're going to give you some room for you to access the ones in the bottom right there. The spark plugs, the one all the way inside. Very tough. And then, of course, you have to remove the coils, the ignition coils. I got all of them out here. That is for the left-hand side of the engine. This one here for the right-hand side of the engine, which is like bank one. And of course, you're going to need the screw that you need. You need 7mm. The 7mm socket to get the screws that goes into the coils. Once you remove the coils, the first thing you have to do then, you're gonna need this beautiful lubricant here. This is BB Blaster. You need to squirt like a good solid 3-4 squirts of blaster inside the hole where the spark plug is at. The plug basically has to be half immersed in that BB Blaster. As you see, they all soak and wet because I did squirt a lot in it. I'm not afraid for this stuff to get inside the engine. Yes, once we start it, you're going to smoke a little bit, but it doesn't matter. You know, it beats you having to force these things out using other tools. And once you squirt, like you make it like the lubricant should be all the way up, because all these grooves are going to be inside. This is going to be inside the engine. The lubricant should cover at least the minimum here. You got to go like about 3-4 good squirts inside, and you got to feel like you would know once you squirt. You got to feel like it's getting full, and you don't have to fill it up to here, but it's just a little bit. You know, it's like about 3-4 squirts of BB Blaster, and then the next thing you have to do is like you gotta use the spark plug socket, and you have to turn it. You have to turn it about 45 degrees, about like 4 times. You gotta go 45, like loosen it 45 degrees about 4 times. Like basically you're making one full revolution. Basically, you're gonna turn it like 45 degrees. 45 degrees, then another 45 degrees, you loosen it, you're gonna feel it like it's protest. It's gonna protest, so you're gonna feel like the spark plugs say like, just about 4 times. That to allow this lubricant to penetrate inside and go inside. And that's what happened here. Once we break it, then the lubricant is gonna go travel inside to where this soot and carbon deposits is at. And then you leave, as the car is hot already, leave it for a good 3 hours or 4 hours. And after 4 hours, you just come and turn it back and unscrew all the spark plugs one by one, and here you have it. This is it. I got all 8 out, and I got this tip from somebody on Amazon. Believe it or not, he was selling a tool to remove those ones here, and the gentleman asked him, like, you know, how you get them out? He said, well, you first heat up the engine, and I've done that. I've been doing this for many years, and I thank God, you know, I don't want to jinx myself, but it worked out fine, you know, and that's what we have it now. All we have to do is get the new spark plugs, which I have right here. We have to stick them inside, and those are the same spark plugs. It's just a stupid design, but they say this design is improved where it doesn't break, but it is the same spark plug, basically. It's the same construction, but this construction, they say they improved it where like the tip and the whole spark plug is just one piece, so it doesn't break. In the Ford design, this one here separates right there. It separates right there where my finger is at. So the top gonna spin, the bottom gonna be stuck inside the cylinder head. And those ones here, they claim, and I believe them, they cannot make a claim that is not right. And they say you can see this one piece. So this whole design is just one piece. So you will never have, you don't have to go through bit for the spark plug to get seized inside the same way the other ones get seized here. It's just the carbon deposit. It's gonna hold it in place, and this one is spin, and this one is gonna stay in place, and the top gonna spin. Then you have to use a tool to extract it. It's a pain in the behind, you know. I've done it before. We charge significant amount of money to get those things out. But as they say, prevention is better than cure, and that's the way you do it. You warm up the engine until it reaches operating temperature, and you get on it right away. Take the coils out, and you take the oil coils out, then you squirt some of the BB blaster inside, about 3-4 good squirts inside over the spark plug inside, and then you give it a couple of cracks, about 3 to 4 cracks, 45 degrees each. You loosen it, basically, you loosening the spark plugs about like a good 15 degrees each, you know, and by the time it finishes, like it'll be like a whole revolution, basically. You go about 45, then 45, and you leave it for 2 to 3 hours. You come back, and it will work. It will work. I've done it for many years. I don't want to jinx myself, as I said, but that's the way you do it. And then putting it back is the same way, you know, just like you get the spark plugs, the new ones, you get the improved design of it, and that's that. I got Champion here. This should work fine, you know. It's like they say improved design over the old one from Ford, and that's that. And that's the way you do it. Put it back, of course, I don't have to document that one because it's easy. You just put the spark plug inside, screw it in, and then clean those coils, and put some grease in it, and tune-up grease, and put it in, and that's it. Put the computer last. The BCM will put it last, and then we connect the battery here, and that will be the tune-up job on these 2005, 2006, I think, 2004, 5, 6, I believe, Ford Expedition. All the Ford, like this 5.4 engines get these issues, you know. But that's that. Hopefully this will help somebody, and we see you again on another video, and I'm sure this tip will help a lot of people to get the job done without the heartache and the pain of dealing with a broken spark plug inside the engine. Thank you and God bless. Sammy again from Integrity Automotive Enterprise, 2600 Gwynns Falls, Baltimore City. Thank you and God bless.